Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses, so for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at more breaking news for TradeStation. We're also going to be looking at viewer opinions on the resolution that has been discussed in the previous videos, and also some important questions that are being asked by Johnny Tobacco. As well as that, we're going to do an update on a shipping stock that is a penny stock and also pays a dividend. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets. So we have had news in terms of the jobs report, and we can see here overall the report is quite good, and we can see here 164,000 private sector jobs, 676,000 people left the labour force. Where are they going? 683,000 fewer people are employed. 33,300 workers lost their temporary jobs, but overall what this basically means is the US has added 216,000 new jobs last month, and above all the economist estimates unemployment the rate came in at 3.7% and the expectation was 3.8%. so overall that is good news. But now let's have a look at the other theme that we're continuing with, and that is with regard to the short selling ban in Korea. So shout out here to Kristen, who's posted again news from Korea, and we can see here the FSS director confirms additional illegal short selling by overseas investment banks, and she stated here that the regulators are moving quickly against counterfeit crooks. So this is not only a problem I think in the USA, but is a problem worldwide, and it looks like South Korea are making important steps to deal with this. In terms of implications for the US, we can see here the next one from Motormouth talking about EVs. New short positions emerge amidst market volatility, and what Kristen has stated here is that these are real shorts. Wait until they find out about the counterfeit shares flooding the financial markets. It was found that some of the heavily shorted stocks on the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq have at least $100 million in market capitalization, and short interest representing approximately 25% of the float. So again, very concerning for the markets. Let's start by having a look at the breaking news. So shout out again to Junk Savvy, who stated the confirmation that MMTLP shareholders have validated 202% of TradeStation's allocated registered stock certificates. Again, this is at a bigger figure than in the previous video that was reported, and we can see that the official allocation was we know 122,622. So now the latest updates are that we have validated 246,556, and there are more to come. So again, huge news there. So let's now move on to some of the posts and questions being asked by Johnny Tobacco, who is a great person to be on our side. And in response to one of the fudsters, what he stated here is obviously there is a keyboard king mocking others with little knowledge of the actual skills and experience. So this trader zero has got zero knowledge, and what Johnny is saying is he's confused, or is this person confused or asking questions, and obviously he's complimented the observations, but he's not sure in terms of what the objectives of this person are. And obviously what Johnny has gone on to say is you're not misinterpreting anything. The posts are straightforward. The discussion was about 1.6% being short per FINRA's FAQs. He showed that there were 15 million borrowed, and if you're paying $1 million a month or $33,000 a day, you aren't borrowing it for fun. So you borrow it to short it. So the case he's making is that there are 15 million shares borrowed for legal shorts. FINRA are saying they're 1.6%. So 15 million on 165 million is approximately 9%. So again, the trade zero person person obviously does not understand this and actually has got zero knowledge. And obviously that's the response. So the question on the symbol in the filing in terms of the QSIP, inside, etc. was real. So obviously I'm not sure the zero trader is going to increase the knowledge from zero, but to finish off, what Johnny has stated is for him to piggyback and on the unsolicited or highly wide open door exemptions. He would love to see who was unsolicited asking for a quote and a QSIP. I feel that someone would solicit a broker dealer to provide a quote in the first place, but what does he know? And now we can see some clarification from John Berder, who stated, there are people trying to say we filed a kitchen sink S3 shelf and that these preference shares were registered. They were not. We know that they were, obviously the ticker was created without company's consent, and he's saying you sell the shares off the shelf, the company gets the money. They were not registered as dividend shares to be traded. I will tell you when they arrived in the account. He phoned WS counsel for MMAT and asked there was no restriction. You can ask the SEC. He told them as well, no one knows this like he does. If we have a look at the FAQs from FINRA, the first one they said the shares were registered, the second one they recanted because they were wrong. So the FINRA FAQs were full of errors. We've covered that, and basically you find out who you that you have your defendants potentially in a RICO suit as they were all acting together. To finish off here from Johnny, what he's also doing for us as a community, he's appeared on the Newsmax here, and he states here, obviously, thank you for Bianca Delgado for letting him speak. True to the power, the SEC hates MMTLP. It is a thorn in their side. I would go on to say that the FINRA also hates MMTLP. So Johnny sees injustice and he's chosen to speak the truth. He also is now positively saying that Congress is on our side, tagging in people like Pete Sessions. So hopefully this is good news. And let's have a look at the other updates. So shout out here to Richard, who stated after careful consideration and with his client, which is him, being a nut and despite not as in KNOT, having a TradeStation account, so he doesn't have TradeStation, but he has still decided to work up a civil complaint to be filed in California against TradeStation. So it didn't take long for the first example of litigation against TradeStation to be shared, and obviously he's looking at them diluting Richard's MMTLP stock, which is held at Fidelity, amongst other claims. So no arbitration provision, and his client is very understanding but cheap. I'm not sure he's that cheap. Let us see where this ride takes us. So great post there from Richard, and if we have a look at an overall summary here from AK Dallas, he stated here, Congress is helping. TradeStation has just been exposed. We have pending action versus the OTC markets, pending cases and actions against FINRA. FINRA's FAQ has been debunked, which is the FAQ part 2. We have a significant amount of behind the scenes work, which obviously is not always being shared. We now have Johnny Tobacco, which we just featured, Laura Luma, and the interview there, others joining the fight. So it's just a case of this being a ticking time bomb to expose all the nefarious actors. And finally, let's have a look at some other viewer opinions on the resolution, which we've been looking at. So in the previous two videos, we looked at one estimate for 2,500, the other one was for 1,220. So shout out here to FP, who stated he genuinely believes the per share amount will be ridiculously conservative, so basically not in the thousands, and he's saying it's hopeful it'll be between $105 $500 per share. Jesse K has stated he's looking for 2,500 per share. So obviously the cost here, we're looking at billions. So Richard has stated here $200 billion would cause chaos in the financial markets. $100 a share, looking at $16.5 billion is doable in his opinion, and anything more he'd be shocked. So it is a case of we have to wait and see. It could potentially make many of the brokers and the hedge funds bankrupt. And Simon at the end has stated the assets are worth that. Where's the damages for the fraud? He's looking at, again, a more conservative figure, $250 to $400 per share as a bottom price. Finally, I'm going to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol SB, also known as Safe Bulkers. This was featured over a month ago in one of my previous videos as a stock potentially to buy based on news from the shipping industry. So if we have a look at the chart for the previous 6 months, we can see the stock is up in excess of 30%. However, we can see right now from middle of November, it has been going up quite significantly from around about $3.20. Currently at time of editing, currently breaking a price of $4.21. But what's interesting about this penny stock, which is a shipping stock, it is also a dividend paying stock. So we can see here it has a market cap of just in excess of $469 million. But it also has a dividend yield of 4.77%. So I think a good stock here for the long term. If you would like to get more access to our daily stock alerts and as well as the weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.